Hello everyone, this is Sanjay Kumar Raipur. So this is my second video on Java 8 features. So in my first video, I have given the overview on Java 8 feature. In this video, we'll discuss about the default and static method in interface in Java 8. So if I'll discuss the interface prior to Java 8, so we can only declare the method, we can't define the method. So by default, such type of method will be public and abstract till Java 1.7. So in Java 8 they have introduced default method. So what is default method? So default method provide a way to define that method body inside that interface. So you can see here prior to 1.8 we can only declare this so method, but you can see here inside this I interface I am defining the body as well. So but you need to put this default keyword before this method declaration. After then you will be able to define the body of that method. So this is how you can use default method. But question is that why this default method has been introduced in Java 8. So default method has been introduced to provide backward compatibility so that existing interface can use lambda expression feature without implementing the method in implementing classes. So suppose we'll take the example of for each that if you want to use this for each functionality to iterate that list and collection. So either we will, if we will define this for each method to list or collection, then this method should be implemented to each implementation class like array list, like vector and blah blah blah. But if you are providing some default method in iterable so that the same implementation can be used to all the implementation classes. So whatever the classes which are implementing list or collection, they can use this for each functionality, the for each method functionality. So this is why they have introduced default method. So one more question is that if we will define that method, so this can create some ambiguity, right? So how we can resolve that ambiguity, or how it can resolve that ambiguity which will be generated by providing that definition of that method. So you can see here my first case, here I have two interfaces, interface I and interface J, both has default show method. So in that case, problem is that if any class which is implementing I and J both, so ambiguity can occur. So in that case, solution is that class C should implement that show method. So by this way it can resolve the ambiguity. I can show you one more case. If we have one interface and we have one class, you can see here in this example I have I interface and class J, and both are having show method. So in this case, problem is that if class C is implementing interface I and extending J class, so in that case your problem will get resolved because this will give you more priority to the class. So in this case ambiguity will not happen. So it will call the class J method because class has more power. It will give the priority to class method. And one more thing is not possible with the default method. Suppose if we have object class, right? If you want to define an interface and which is trying to override a method which is part of object class. So in that case you can't define such type of method. So this is not possible with Java 8. You can't change its object class definition. So this is all about default method, and we can have a static method as well in Java 8. So what is the difference between static and default method? See, if you want to declare any static method, if you want to define any static method inside the interface, you have to just put that static keyword before your method, and after then you can define your method definition here. So this is similar to default method. Whatever we were doing in default method, we can do the similar thing in static method as well, but there is one difference between default method and static method. So the difference is that we can't override this static method into implementation classes. Suppose if any class want to implement this interface, so inside that interface this add method will not be able to implement it. So then how this add method will be called? If anybody want to call this add method, then directly with the class name we can call this add method. So see, this will work like this. So this is how default method and static method works in Java 8. So I am done with this video. If you like this video, please subscribe my channel. My channel name is Java Tech Stack. Thanks for watching.